Hey guys, JH, welcome to the practice tee. Okay, today I'll talk about something in terms of terminology you're probably familiar with and probably heard before, but the application of the terminology today is different to what I think you probably related to before. And the terminology is single axis. Now when we think of single axis, we think about single axis relative to the plane of the golf swing. And that is that the shaft and the trail arm are in a straight line. That's single axis, and we try and keep the club in that orientation throughout the golf swing, a la Mo Norman. That's what we try to do with single axis, and that's what's taught as a single axis golf swing. A lot of people call it single plane. I call it single axis because there's one axis instead of one axis, two axis, and those two axes form one in when you talk about plane. But today, guys, we're not talking about plane. We're talking about single axis relative to the rotational golf swing. Where we have a rotational golf swing, we're talking about a single axis. Okay, JH, what do you mean? Guys, in the golf swing we've got two vertical axes. We've got a right vertical axis, which is this here, and we've got a left vertical axis. We've got a trail vertical axis and a lead vertical axis. I think anyone, right or left-handed, should try what I'm advocating here. Now guys, this is in no way relative to stack and tilt. Stack and tilt never ever referred to rotating around a single axis. They just said that we want all the components stacked on top of one another and we want to stay there and move back. Now single axis is just that, in that if we have this left or this lead vertical axis here for a right-handed player, what we want to do is keep that in place and we want to turn around it, a la Ben Hogan. And probably the greatest exponent of it today, bar none, is Hunter Mayhem. He does it better than anybody on the planet. That's why I think he's such a good ball striker. I think his ball flight with the driver is the best of anyone. I don't think anyone drives the ball from a flight perspective point of view better than Hunter Mayhem. And he's just a great ball striker. And it's part of Sean Foley's doctrine of teaching. So guys, we're talking about single axis, so we want to use this axis if you're a right-handed person, the left vertical axis. We'll just talk about the lead axis, and all we want to do basically is keep that axis in place and turn around it. That's what Hogan looked like, didn't he? That's what Hogan looked like. Everybody said that was a Hogan pivot, but they didn't tell you what he did to achieve the Hogan pivot. He just basically pivoted around that lead axis, that lead vertical axis. That's all he did, guys. Now the advantage you have with it is that if you think about that, the head is never going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay where it is, at address. There. By doing that, this right side has to get out of the way, or the trail side has to get out of the way, has to go that way. In a conventional golf swing, we see a bit of this, and then a sort of a late shift. But this one is an early shift from the lead axis into the trail axis here. Now I feel very much that this trail axis doesn't move either. As a matter of fact, I probably look like I'm going left in a reverse pivot, but I'm not. And Hogan looked like that, but he clearly didn't reverse pivot. I just think for people that have problem moving around in the golf swing, that have maybe that in the golf swing, or that in the golf swing. Now we certainly didn't see that in Mo Norman's golf swing. Although his backswing pivot, guys, believe it or not, Mo's backswing pivot was like this. There was Mo's backswing pivot. So he had very much a left vertical axis orientation to his golf swing. Clearly, but he didn't stay there on the downswing. He lateralized. He got this type of backswing turn, but on the downswing he went here. Whereas what I'm saying is that once we've established in our backswing that we want to just turn around that lead axis, we want to stay there. We want to stay and just rotate back around that lead axis on the downswing. Now how do we do that? Once we've got here, all we do, guys, is take this, the belt buckle or the belly button, and just put it there and stay here. There. That's probably the best definition and explanation I can ever give of posting up on the lead side. That is a perfect posting up process, and this is very much what we saw with Hunter Mayhem. The accuracy factor, guys, is very, very high, because you don't move all over the place. You're basically in the same place all the time. Okay, now we haven't hit any shots today, and I've just been home and from the gym, and I'm still very, very tight. And here we go, guys. We're just going to basically just rotate around that lead front axis, and then just take this portion of the body, the pelvis area and the belly button, and just bring it back to here and keep it going. But we don't want to move that lead axis. We want that as our focus. I'm just going to turn around that. Oh, first swing of the day, that's good. We've got a 5-iron here, guys. That's one of the really good things I like about this swing, is I think you can be a little scratchy in your action or a little bit tight, but because you don't move at all, you make good contact. I mean, that was great contact for the first swing of the day. So we're just going to stay on that lead axis and just turn around it, and then take the belly button back from there. Going to make sure you make the full pivot. Make the full pivot. Like that. Wow, that's long. I'll tell you what I noticed, guys, and I was just fiddling with it yesterday, and that's why I'm doing the video today. I noticed that it feels very, very like a soft golf swing, but it has an enormous amount of power. You don't feel like there's any power in the shot, but I was looking at that shot a little dumbfounded. I mean, it just really, really motors. I mean, that's as good as old JH can hit it. Oh, wow. That's something else, guys. That is very, very, very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're warmed up. We've hit 3 shots. Now, guys, those 3 or 4 golf balls are in a 5-yard circle, probably tighter than that. Hit a couple this way. Nobody here early in the morning. We can use a little bit of bird flight. Don't know what it's like against that sky. Wow. See that old car out there, guys? Can you see that old car? That's an old Ford Fairlane that we've got up on some 44-gallon oil drums. That's the target. That shouldn't be too far right of where I've got the camera. I mean, that's just gone straight over it. What you have to do in any golf swing is make sure that you complete the pivot. I'm making an excuse, but with this microphone around my neck on the backswing there, just as I started down, I thought it was going to fall off. I mean, it's still gone at the target. Oh, doesn't get any better than that. Now if I could just improve the length of that golf swing, we'd really have some serious power going on. I want that angle's like there, guys, for you. I'm trying to hit the ball away from me so you can see it. Might hit this one a little bit to the left. I may be aiming a little far right for the camera. So that's right at the car. That's what's landed on the roof. Did you hear that? It landed right on the roof of the car. Yeah, so guys, I'm just step on this way, try and make a better pivot. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, my backswing's not long, as you know, but if I can increase that backswing with that pivot, generate a lot of power. Okay, so it's just this lead axis, and we just stay there and we pivot around it like that. You'll feel the head go down a little bit because the left knee will bend, or the lead knee will bend, and then we just turn this back towards the ball. I'm not doing that great a job of getting my pivot back or my pelvis back yet, but I'll try and do that on this one. That's perfect. That's fantastic contact. Just super contact. Now if I could just increase that, which I always try and do. But see how economical it is, guys, and there's no movement. I mean, I bet I'm not moving at all. I would bet I'm not moving. Well guys, this is the way to lower your score, I'll tell you right now, because that is just so straight and easy to do. Just hit a couple of drivers with my new ping driver, my G driver, what we call the SF Tech, which is a straight flight. I've got an LS, which is low spin, but this is the straight flight. It's the same shot every time, guys. Wow! Right. Well, it's a double wow because I think the wow factor is happening because of the pivot, and also with the driver because of this driver, because it's an outstanding golf club. Guys, I've got it with the Ping Tour shaft, the chromey looking one, and just a 10 degree. I've just got it set at 10 degrees, just dead square, and it's just spectacular. Okay, we'll do a good job on that pivot. Alright, now what happens, I'm choking off my backswing a little bit. It's still gone beautifully straight. But because there is a lot of load in that left side there, you've got to keep going against the load. Once the load comes, keep going. That's where the turbo comes from. Like that. The old JH doesn't get up there early in the morning, guys, let me tell you. I just do not. I do not get up there early in the morning. Not with a sort of, you know, a headwind. Okay, watch this. Okay, I'll try and do a better pivot. So I'm just going to lead axis, single axis, just stay there. Alright, just try one more and try and make a really big pivot. Because I'm loading, you know, on that axis, it feels like I'm I've got a huge amount of torque, and I have, so I just resist giving into that torque. That's a good shot, J8. That's a very good shot. Okay. So to get the feel of it, guys, single axis. Just get a pitching wedge. Gonna hit a couple little shots this way. Just get a pitching wedge. Load left. I'll hit one this way first. Just load left. Well, not load. Don't say that, JH. Don't load left. Just single axis. Set the single axis, and just turn against it. See, that's what you want with wedge shots, guys. You want that type of crispness in the shot. I mean, Hunter Mahan hits those unbelievably well. Doesn't get any better than that. That's just crazy stuff. Just hit a couple this way. Yeah, so to learn it, just work with a wedge and just don't give up that lead axis, single axis. You can see that on that line. Might just hit it a little left. I'll hit it a bit lower so you can see a little bit of ball flight. I'll jam this one a little bit. Can you see that ball flight? That's all you got to do, guys. Just learn it like that. Just stay there. Well, I'm no Hunter Mahan, but they're beautiful shots. Such high quality impact. That's how you learn it, guys. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay, guys, that's single axis, lead axis. Keep it there, and once you've transferred the weight, to get it back, just turn this to there. Just don't think about anything else, just turn this to there. Everything else will work if you just turn this from here to there. Everything else will fall into place. Guys, I'll do a bit more on this because I really think it's great. I'll just hit a couple of drives down range. Yeah, I don't do enough downrange stuff. Just love this golf club. Tell you what's interesting, guys. When I say it doesn't feel like it's got any power, it does, but it feels a soft power. It's amazing. I'll hit it a little bit further. I don't know if you can see that on that line. That's perfect. Just hit one more. Guys, single axis. We'll do a little bit more explanation on it because I haven't got a lot of explanation at the moment, but we'll do more and I'll work out some better training process. But yeah, it's not stack and tilt at all. Just single left vertical axis or lead vertical axis. Just turn around it and then return around it. I think it's good, guys. It's something we can get. I think we get a lot of value out of this. I'll do more during the week.